got it right this time, fighting with the new YouTube stuff. Did a live chat. All right, y'all, I'm going to give it, I'm going to raise y'all up a little bit. I'm going to give it, we'll give it about 5 minutes as usual. And I hope y'all are doing well. So I guess I should say this at the beginning. Let me lower it a little bit. There we go. That might be a little bit better. What's I going to tell y'all? Like, subscribe, share it out if you feel it impacts you. I don't know if anybody gonna come in. I'm gonna give it 5 minutes. I'm gonna say what I gotta say, and if nobody come in, I'm good off. But I gotta say what I gotta say. And I already prayed. I'm like, Lord, give me what to say to these folks, cause some stuff. There's a lot going on, and I know a lot of people have been impacted by what's going on, right? And we got weird weather. Politics is strange. War in Israel is getting more unique. So we're going to talk about all of that. And I'm going to give it a little bit. I'm going to talk about ethnicity and what I want to call desensitized. We become very desensitized. And it's almost sick and sad how desensitized we have become. I'm sitting up here, and there's absolutely nothing to watch. I'm going to probably be doing some house cleaning and some stuff, some Bible stuff today. I got to read. Where am I at in my study? I got a study guide. This is my study guide. I'm going to pick up some more of them. It's called Life Change. And we are in chapter, I think we're in 4. Let's see. Yeah, we're getting ready to jump into 4. So the temptation of Jesus. We're going to do that. So I'm going to work on that today and then do a video for my group on that and go from there. We'll give it, got about 3 more minutes. I'll give it 3 more minutes before I start getting into it. Trying to think. I found on YouTube like some Christian movie stuff that I watch. I watched a really good one last night. It's not going to have the best actors because a lot of Christian movies don't have the budget. And so this one was actually pretty good. I was really shocked. So I watched it and I shared it out with my group today. But we're going to get into some conversations in conjunction with this ethnic thing. And oh boy, because I'm just sitting up here going, because I was in the grocery store when I saw it. So I'm going to talk about it right a little bit. So I'm in the grocery store and I'm picking up some stuff Wednesday. And they start talking about Trump was at this black journalists convention. And they start playing. They start playing it. And the whole time in the store I'm going, this ninja right here, and laughing. Ooh-wee Jesus. This ninja right here. Ooh-wee Jesus. That's every time he would say something. Every time they ask a question and he say something crazy, I would, ooh-wee Jesus. Because it was like he was digging a worse and worse hole. And what gets me is how they're trying to justify what he says. So we become so desensitized to it that we're now trying to give it legitimacy and give it validity and validate it. I'm like, the world is crazy. People are really, because before if you saw somebody's crazy, they was just like, oh, that baby crazy. He a little touched. Now you can be crazy and we try to normalize crazy. I'm just like, it's so demonic, but it is what it is. And I was just like, all I could say was ooey Jesus, because it's gonna get more interesting because the baby's in temper tantrum narcissistic mode, and you have to understand a narcissist in order to understand all that behavior that we saw with him at the convention. Because until you understand that, you're not gonna understand him, and we keep. And now I don't know. When I'm looking at people, well, news media is doing it obviously for the ratings and for people to watch. They focus on him, right? Granted, now with Kamala going for the presidency, now that's kind of a hot topic because hey, she's got momentum, she's got stuff flowing. And right now the U.S. has to choose between two parties. Now, there's an old saying, you got to choose which demon is the best. And even though you don't like things on one side or the other, if one is worse than the other, you need to go with the other one. And there's some things on the Democratic side I don't care for. That's honesty based on my Christian views. But just because I'm Christian, I'm not aligning myself as some, what they call the nationalist Christians now. They don't even call them evangelical. They call them like nationalist Christians because they can't put all evangelicals in that box, in that box of weirdness. They just can't. And so as I'm sitting here and I'm watching this strangeness, and I'm watching him at this Black Journalist Convention, there were several things that came to mind, and Lord help me with saying this. Number one, the rhetoric he used is a very, it's a very well practiced racist rhetoric that has been used for years in this country. The good and the bad of what he did, we got to see it on film. A lot of us have experienced it in offices. Okay, a lot of people, even in jobs, is where you a lot of times receive it, but you've also received it out in public, and where folks will try to twist things or shift things and make you look like you're crazy. You can experience even in families. I've had that happen too. And where your family will, all of a sudden you be looking at them like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? Just, you be looking at them like they're crazy. That's why when Mary Trump and now her brother has written a book, and they're talking about stuff, I'm sitting there going, ooh wee Jesus. It's, and I consider it a very demonic tactic, where you're asked a question, and then they play this role, and then they start acting crazy or doing stuff weird. And this is a narcissist thing. It's demonic because Satan is a narcissist. Hello. It's a way that if I can't get positive attention for being decent, for being intelligent, if I have nothing to offer, then I'm going to be putrid and negative because that also draws attention. I got a video I did on here. I think it's 2 videos about 2 female truckers that were killed, died, whatever, okay? Those are my highest rated videos because they're bad. Not bad as far as bad being bad, but they're about bad news. And for whatever reason, that kind of stuff attracts people. It just does. And I don't know what that is, but if it's good news or good things, unless it's something that will encourage us to make us think we're all that, they don't really care so much. But let it be something tragic. That stuff will blow up. It'll be blow up. It's like the lady who was killed, I forgot what state it was, where she had some mental issues. She called the cop, and the cop just, and God bless her, Macy, I think that's her name. God bless her and her family, prayers for her and her family. But that has blown up because of the negativeness of it. Because it's bad news. And we're all like this. Y'all, I can't believe this ninja did that. I can't believe dude did that. And it was so blatant. So we see that, but we tend to draw to that. So a narcissist, whether they realize it or not, because most of the time they're crazy, they just act in the manner of their craziness. Their abnormal is their normal. Their crazy is their normal. The problem what I have, and I'm not talking from somebody, my biological father was a narcissist. I didn't really know the term. I knew he had issues. I didn't know the terms until after he died. And then something started coming up in my feed. I'm like, and they would just, I'm like, whoa, because I knew that old boy was a narcissist, and I used to always call Grumpy. I was like, dude, your brother Trump is on, because they're very similar. Women issues, thought women were supposed to do anything, or thought women were probably less than them. Thought a woman should do everything for them. Treatment of women, how they looked at a woman, other people in general, how they saw themselves, and ultimately, top thing that is the most annoying is the amount of lying they do. They lie just to lie. And their lies become the reality they live in, And they just lie. The lies flow off their tongue like water. This is where biblical understanding will help, because Satan is a narcissist. And if you go back and just study who he is from the garden all the way throughout, wherever the little pieces of information about him are, straight up narcissist. When I did a study for a Christian group of mine, I was like, because I had, and the Lord, I believe, allows us to see things so he can grow us. And so when I was doing this study and I started studying, I know people think, why would you study Satan? Knowing your enemy is a good thing. Understanding your enemy is a good thing. Because then you know who you're dealing with. You know exactly who the hell you're dealing with. If you don't know your enemy, you're going to get slapped. You're going to get punched. You're going to get kicked. You're going to get beat up. But if you understand your enemy and your enemy's tactics as best you can, you know when they're coming up to the surface, and you know what you're dealing with. I can deal with people now. I can look at people now. I can see actions of people and characteristics happen even a little bit before then. And I can now tell when people are under what I would call a satanic influence, meaning they've got demons behind them. There's some stuff on board that's not good. I have friends of mine. I can see that they have spirits in control of them that they're unaware. A lot of people are unaware. They don't even understand what's operating. Sometimes they'll even say, I don't know why I did that. I'm sure you don't. I just sit back and watch. But with, oh boy, if you understand the narcissist, these folks, lying is constant because they want it about them. And it's all about them. And when I watched him, I'm just sitting back watching him on this journalist broadcast when this lady trying to answer, and every way he handled that was highly an old school racist, or a way that people do things that are very covert, dirty, and you know you're being set up when they start doing that, when they start twisting. So he twists conversations. He says stuff that is shock value, and it's in order to get a response. And for a narcissist, if I can't get good attention, bad attention is just as good. I just want attention. I just want to be the center of attention, whether it's good or bad. And it was funny, I was watching a show, and when they started talking about some things with him, one person said, and I was like, hey man, somebody has said something, because all the rest of it, I'm like, it's like you guys are validating you're validating this behavior. It's not like before when he was doing all this craziness and we were like, yeah, this baby crazy as a box of rocks. It's not like that. Even though I know people know it, it's like now we're giving validity to extreme crazy. And a narcissist is extreme. His is just more public of his narcissist, but some people got narcissists in their house, and men tend to be more so, but there are women narcissists, and they bad too. But it's like it's nothing, like, oh, you know, it's just Trump. So we become desensitized to the crazy. And I know, like, the Democratic campaign is now using that term weird. I could have said that with that whole assassination, because them people, even his followers, they were just odd. I'm like, somebody just shot at this man. Y'all got bullets. Y'all see a man on the roof. Y'all pointing and just still standing there. Bruh. Now, I don't know about any other culture, but my culture normally, we out. Crawling, running, and they just sitting there, and then they taking their phones. And oh, we thought it was fireworks. My dude, when the brother dropped to his knees, you knew that wasn't no doggone fireworks. It's time to bounce. Okay? It's time to go. Just odd. They are. So weird is actually a very good term for him. That strange dude he got as a running mate. That dude is odd to me. I look at him and he's cringy. Something about him just, he's cringy. And I guess I'm a crap person because I ain't got no kids. I was like, they went back 2021 and he said something. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty weird. Yep. Being that there's a good chunk of America, a good voting bloc, that might not have kids. And you, sir, just walked in and just crapped your butt cheeks and took a dump on them and told them how worthless they are. Whether they want kids, don't want kids, can't have kids, you just cracked your butt cheeks and took a dump. It's horrible. It's just, I'm just like, what is this? And like I said, our society has become, in my opinion, desensitized to them. Very, very desensitized. Now, there's things on the Harris campaign I'm not going to like for some Christian reasons. But again, you got to see which devil is the best. Which one am I going to deal with? Because it's politics. They both going to lie in some form or fashion. It's just that you got a plethora of lies out of one camp. It's like, every time that brother opens his mouth, like, what he going to say today? Who is Jesus? This baby right here. This baby right here. And you know what's so amazing to me? And it's sad that we're in 2024. And it's sad because it's also part of the history that Project 2025 wants to stop from teaching. Is America, we used to call it a melting pot. I had one instructor in a college class that we're a salad bowl. I like that a little bit better. But in a sense, both are true, okay? Melting pot, so if we go back for black folks to slavery, some of us, well, most of us, have a whole bunch of different stuff up in us. I know for what I know from Grumpy's side, my grandmother was Choctaw and Chickasaw on birth certificate, but she also had black. So I know the Native American part was included. I haven't done one of those DNA tests to find out whatever else was included. I'm praying on that. It just bothers me that they share the information or that people have access to that information. I think it should be private between you and the company who does it. That's the only reason why I haven't done it. But I'm curious. And so oftentimes I'm sitting here and I'm like, riddle me this, Batman. You are most likely mixed with something else. You're not the original, or what you thought was the original Anglo-Saxon. And Anglo-Saxon meant European, white, okay? You mix with a whole bunch of other stuff, son. Might be some Negro up in there. Because with behaviors that you got in your generational line, you probably one of them ones that was up in masters, up in the slave house. I'm just saying. So we don't know what all you got mixed up in your stuff. But I would like to have a DNA test so we can see. And it amazes me because the ignorance of just looking at a skin tone now, at technology being in 2024 where it's at, where we can actually do a Q-tip swab and it tells us our whole DNA ancestry line, where we're from, what percentage. It gives us all of that. That's where technology is at. And you get up there in straight just narcissistic, I'm going to be a butthole moment. And I don't know if he knows any better, because honestly, when you hear him speak, it takes all I have. It took all my head when he was in office. I couldn't listen to him long, because every time I listen to him speak, I'm like, is he remedial? Because he talks like, God forgive me. So if you grew up with kids who were possibly slow, they had a learning disability, or they maybe were held out of school, something like that, and they were coming in late. And when you talk to them, you could tell all the rocks were in the box, or they had a learning disability. So the way they speak and the way they think is different. That's how he talked. I feel like I'm listening to like a 3 or 4 year old talk. I'm like, is there, do you have a disability? Is something wrong with you? And I don't want to be mean. I'm just being real. So, there's a lot of things, and what's getting me, like I said, we've normalized where when he was there, when he was in the spotlight for this kind of thing before, people were kind of pointing it out. Now we've normalized it. We've normalized his crazy. We've normalized his lying. And the fact you're saying, okay, well, we're going to have to fact check him because we know he's just going to lie. We're going to fact check him. We're going to fact. And so why? Why? Like, to me, I don't even like why talk to him. And then some people look down like, oh, the black journalist got played. I don't think they did at all. I actually commend them for being willing to bring him out there because, again, this is the first time that I know of on that broad of a scale that we've seen, and I don't know what you would call the racist tactic. I just know it's a racist tactic that I've experienced in corporations. And I know that it's also experienced it can be, it's really tied to racism, but it can be used in other forms. But they twist stuff in order to get you out the door. And then it's a manipulation, lie, twist. It's very weird. And you know when it's happening, you're like, this is, and you know, it's, a lot of times it's tied to discriminatory behavior, but they'll do it in a weird way. And so this is exactly what he did, especially when he got to her ethnicity. Well, you know, she was Indian first, and now she's black. And the way he kept saying, I was like, wow, bruh. And the black jobs is hilarious. That is flipping hilarious. I was like, this, and the whole time in the store, I'm walking, just listening and watching. I'm going, this ninja right here. Who he Jesus? Because that's all you can say. But I see that, and it bothers me. It bothers me that we have become so desensitized to absolute crazy. And he's not the only one. Ever since we came out of COVID, and that's really, since we've come out of COVID, and it's under Biden's administration, a level of push to accept crazy, and now you're against crazy, but you have accepted mental health stuff and trying to normalize it. That is why now you competing against crazy, because you told us to accept things, and not being mean, that are mental health issues, and tell us that's normal. There's an issue with that. A big issue. Stomach. I need to probably go get some antacid. Mint gum. If I had peppermint, I would do that. I don't, as I sit back and I look at the things going on right now, and I interact with people, what has infiltrated into us is just absolutely amazing. I was out the other night, well, a couple nights back, about a week ago, and I went out with a friend. Well, she met me here, and then we went and picked up her best friend, and we all went to Texas Roadhouse. And she was saying to me, because how God actually moved in a very difficult financial time with some job loss and waiting for another job and just even trying to pay bills, keep the apartment. And she was telling her best friend, the universe watches out for Shannon. Let me help y'all. Do you think the universe spoke us into being? I'm just going to say. Do you think the universe spoke itself into being? Do you think the universe spoke this planet into how it works with access for us to breathe, to grow food, to thrive? Granted, we're screwing it up. Do you think the universe did that? Now, this individual believes they are Christian. That's between them and the Lord. I got question marks. Love them. But I got question marks because there's things that even though they grew up in the church, they have zero biblical understanding, right? And now you've incorporated what I would consider a New Age philosophy, that the universe did this. And some Christian, unfortunately, supposed Christian churches are even saying this, or Christian ministers. The universe does not have that power. For the universe to be, even in my man logic, even in this man logic, I have to realize there is something bigger than me that did this grand design. Something that created a human, something that created this planet, something that creates the animal. The miracle of birth in and of itself is, that of itself speaks of something of divine nature. The miracle of a seed that you plant in the ground that grows into a whole plant and then produces more seeds that you can put and could. That's some grand design. That's some genius level design. That ain't the universe. Universe ain't working on that. I mean, it works as it's supposed to work until it's not working the way it's supposed to work because of things coming down the line called the end times. But that's some grand design. So the universe does not. I speak to the universe. Okay. does it talk back? And can it do anything? Did it create you? Did it create itself? And I know there's some people, I guess, that think that two pieces of something joined together, where them two pieces come from? And poof, the universe was here. Grand design had to do all of this. This right here is two. And it's funny because there's a Bible scripture that says people won't have an excuse when they stand before God. Even if no one physically ever went to them and told them about Jesus and told them about the Bible and told them about God, this planet, the universe, everything that happens here, it speaks of something bigger than us. So when I'm sitting here and in my man logic, I'm looking at this and I'm like, but people have accepted false narratives. It's because they become desensitized and they've made things rational for themselves, which doesn't make sense. It's just really weird to me. They've made it rational, and well, it does make sense, because if I have to say I believe in maybe the God of the Bible, then that means I have to submit possibly to him, or I'm being blatantly disobedient by not submitting and not acknowledging him. So if I admit that, then y'all, I don't know, my stream got weird. It cut out. I hope I'm back. I ain't gonna be on here much longer. In older videos I mentioned I have a problem with the white and the black and the brown. That's skin tone. So if we say brown, most people are gonna think Latino. What color is my skin? Granted, I got a black mark right there. What color is my skin? My skin is brown. If you look at my legs are lighter than the rest of my body, probably because I always wear pants or shorts in the house. So my skin is ultimately brown. It's brown. I'm not black in the sense of the color black. Black to me is just as derogatory as the N word. All of them are colored. Well, there's all sorts of colors. It's just ignorant, okay? This has always been a pet peeve of mine. I like to talk on ethnicity. Now, in America, we have accepted, well, across the country too, across the world, we've accepted black, okay? And even originally within the African American community, we had some issues there because some people from Africa may not consider themselves black, or they may look down on us. And that's some of the things that have been built in this whole racial divide. And that's why I don't like it. I like ethnicity. Black race, these are the ethnic origins. That woman is Jamaican, I think it's a Jamaican, and Indian from India, not Native American that we call Indians here. All of that. And you looking at this, I'm going, wait a minute. And that's what you say. And then we go, well, two things can be true at once. Well, not necessarily. But in the case of not two things, all things, but there can be some double truths. So a person can be, and she might have more than that up in her. Because if she probably do a DNA test, you might find out she mixed with some other stuff. Because this is America. And it's what happens. Folks can be mixed with other stuff, people. It's, when I saw that, I was like, this, like I said, I'm walking to the store, this ninja right here, ooh, Jesus. I'm laughing, because, and as you heard, they were in awe, but they were laughing too, because he's so blatantly crazy, and narcissists are that way, because I would sit there sometimes with Grumpy, and he would say some stuff, and I would just be, or do things, and you'd be just sitting there just laughing. A good example of a narcissist. I'm going to do it my way, even if it's to cut my nose off and spite my face, right? So here's an example that my father did. He's going to move. Literally, he's moving 6 to 8 blocks from where he was at, because he needed to be in a bottom stairs apartment, because he was going to have a procedure where he shouldn't be walking stairs anymore, okay? I say to him, I said, okay, I'm back on the truck back there. I'm like, hey, let me go ahead and contact, and I look up, and I found a couple of movers in Lubbock. Honestly, I did. I give him this information. If you tell them to go left, they're going to go right. That's why right now, again, you have to understand narcissists. I'm going to do it my way, because if you tell me to go this way, it's not maybe going to get the attention I want. So I'm going to do something that's going to get me extra attention for just being a butthole. Even if it means I'm cutting off my face. They think different. You trying to rationalize, like I be listening to them up here, I'm going, y'all trying to rationalize crazy. If you would just say, dude crazy, then we don't know what the hell you're going to do next. That's really what should be what they say. Dude crazy, and we don't know what the hell you're going to do next. He's a narcissist. They crazy. They're going to do whatever they're going to do next. These are psychologically broken people. They're going to do whatever they do, and it's going to be crazy, because that's what they do. Because they're crazy. But we try to rationalize crazy, and we've now made it seem logical and okay folks being crazy. I'm like, yo. So I told Grumpy, I said, look, bruh, I found a place out there. They got these many ratings on Yelp. Here's a couple of different companies. Call them, and they'll help you move. Probably cost you about $400, right? I don't even know if it was a week later, he called me, I talked to so-and-so, and they told me that so-and-so had a moving company. I said, well, what's the moving company name? Well, I don't know. I said, okay. I said, well, you didn't want to find that moving company name, bro, so you know what's going on. He literally hires a man who's, I guess, a minister at a church, pays him $400 some, and they move one piece of furniture, and his daughter showed up with him to help him move a piece of furniture. Him, Grumpy, and the daughter, who I guess was a bodybuilder, and the crackhead down the street getting the furniture down, so he gave him an extra $20 to help move the furniture, and none of his other stuff got moved. So since he took so long to move, they just start throwing his stuff on a dump pile because he gave him a deadline to be out the apartment. Narcissists gonna do what they're gonna do. I said, well, why did you? So then if he tells people the story later, he like, oh, I didn't want that stuff. That wasn't what happened. What happened was I decided to go left instead of right, because if you tell me to do one thing, I'm going to do the opposite. So they give old boy instructions, he's going to do the opposite. That's the way of the narcissist, because they feel the opposite will give them the attention. On top of that, they want to be in control. You won't control me. You won't tell me what to do. So I'm going to do it my way. Therefore, my way, even if it cuts my nose off to spite my fate and screws me, it's my way. That's why when y'all need to go, and like I said, I got documents for project. Y'all can just Google it, Project 2025 PDF, and you get the whole 900-page document, right? When that and all them weird people that was under him, and they wrote that, that's gonna tell you everything you need to know. Like I said, you need to choose which devil's the best. I ain't telling nobody how to vote. I'm just telling you, choose which devil's the best. You might want to consider. I got folks I know who black, who Christian, and who pastors, being not necessarily black pastors. They might be under a pastor who's white, but I know folks, and they pastors be preaching and teaching that this dude is this major savior. It's just like I talked to my buddy that I went to dinner with. Oh, well, they said, he's saying he ain't no more Christian. My dude, he was never Christian. Just because somebody tell you something, what did Maya Angelou tell you? Believe what people say. Speaking is not the only way that people speak. People speak in their actions. They do. And if they speaking, however, verbally, physically, emotionally, however they speaking, believe that truth. Believe them. Believe them. Point blank period. This man ain't never demonstrated nothing that said he was Christian. He do whatever whim, just to get whatever attention, because he wants to. That's a narcissist. It's what they do. Please go research them. Y'all, before y'all even vote, y'all need to go research what a narcissist is. And you should be very scared, because it's like they have an alter personality. It's like they have that person that it's a person they don't like. It's a person that is usually very damaged. So a lot of them are low self-esteem, low self-worth, inferiority complex, which is why they build themselves up and why they're so negative and why they're bullies. That's what a bully is, somebody who, Grumpy was a control freak and he manipulated females, people too, in general. But it was part of the narcissistic personality and his dysfunction. It's a high dysfunction. And it's not something, unless they want it to be fixed, And they would probably, that is a hard, it's a very hard mental, psychological break for a person. And a lot of them folks, it would take a miracle of God to fix everything going on. And Grumpy, he had come some distance, but he had a lot on board stuff. And so the same thing with this dude. But this dude don't want to be fixed. His abnormal is normal. And if you listen to more about that family, the family's weird. They're weird. They're very weird. When I was listening to the niece talk about, hey, Wendy, what's up, baby? How you doing? And how's the weather in Colorado? And y'all got fires, I think, right now, too. And I'm going to just finish this statement and we'll talk, too. And we're going to talk about Chipotle. I'm going to talk about them. Okay, because I had craving for Chipotle. I went there today, and I'm pissed. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. But when you have these people, you know, they live in their lie. I'm gonna read it here. I read it, but almost. They like their lives. They like living in it. It's just who they are. And narcissists are not pretty people. They're very broken people. That's why I said I don't hate them. I actually feel sorry for them. Do I laugh at them? Yeah, I laugh, because I used to sit and laugh at Grumpy. I'll be going, what in the hell is wrong with you? And until he died, I did not know about the whole narcissist thing. I was like, oh. Something came up, I started reading on him. I'm like, oh, that's Grumpy. And then I just did a study on Satan. I'm like, oh, okay, this is where it comes from. Because that fall in the garden, we inherited a whole bunch. And that was part of it. Fires, and it's super hot and dry. Yeah, I know you guys are supposed to be hot. You're not in the fire zone, are you? Let me know if you're in the fire zone. Okay. Yeah, I know it's hot. It's hot here, but we have the clouds rolling in. It seems like, and I could tell my allergy. So, what's it? I've been dealing with sinuses. Today's pretty good. I did a good wash. I did some sprays. But I've been dealing with drainage for the past, I actually even took out a couple of days. Because I had a migraine. And I was like, and I haven't had migraines in years. So I used to get migraines, and I thought it was because I was drinking soda. Because sometimes I get my soda kick. And because of the diabetes, I do sugar-free soda. Well, if the sugar-free soda don't have Splenda, if it has, what's that one? It's the blue packet. It's the blue packet. Equal, if it has Equal in it, Equal gives me migraines. So I thought it was that. But then when I went into the weekend and I was just draining, y'all notice I went on here last weekend? I was draining. I was like, oh my God. So I pretty much just let draining, and I took Monday off, and then I just did the week. But I was like, whoo, it took all I had just getting through the week, because this is just drain. And it's not, and I think it was getting ready to go into a sinus infection. As soon as I kind of feel that coming, I do the neti pot and just wash it with the saline, keep washing, and I might do 2 or 3 washes a day, just to keep it cleaned out. And if you do that, you tend to avoid the sinus infection, so therefore I can then avoid the antibiotics. That's not that I dislike antibiotics; they help, but if you can avoid them, avoid them. If you can do it naturally, then do it naturally. But yeah, I've been draining backwards. How's everything else going, Wendy? Hey, Culinary, what's up, baby? How you doing? Where you at? How's everything else been going? And y'all have to go on a replay. I was fussing about the political madness. Is he over the road or is he home? Okay. Okay. How long are you home for? Okay. I'm not a Wyoming fan, because every time I drove a truck, it was always windy as hell. Thank you, Wendy. That's why when I look at it, when I look at the whole political landscape, that's why I tell people, and I'm not telling people how to vote. Hold on. Okay, got it. Yeah, I don't tell people how to vote, because I believe you have the right to vote any way you want. If you want to vote for old boy, if you want to vote for Harris, to me, you can vote Either way. Because I see problems with both. I'm going to be honest. I see problems with both. I do see one worse than the other. Okay? However, you got the right too. It's like when I see black people vote and they may vote for him, it's a little odd to me based on some stuff. But, it wasn't like this. I mean, we would have a divide. Remember, let's go Obama prior, okay? We never were like this. But once I hate to say it, old boy came in and all that weirdness came, things got really, it really got divisive. The other thing is that, well, yeah, it was from that time forward, because it even translated into the COVID period. And then things became more, because even under Harris and Biden campaign, like, I don't like things forced on me. And I come from an alternate lifestyle. I get that, but I don't like stuff forced on me. I believe you got the right to. I believe everybody got the right to, and I do believe in equal rights for all people, regardless of whatever you're into. However, if I'm looking at a man and he's got a beard and I gotta call you a she, that's hard. That right there, you're trying to make me be in whatever that world is you're in, and that to me is a very hard thing to do. It's weird. It is very weird. So that's part of where I have a problem with what they're promoting. I get the equal rights for all people. I get that. And some people, even Christian, I believe you got the right to. God gives us all free will. Regardless, we have it up until we stand before him in judgment, then we got to answer for what we chose to do. If we choose not to choose him and be on our free will and do what we want to do all this time on this planet, do you, boo-boo, but there may be a response. Or there is going to be a response for that. However, it's like if I see blue and you want me to call it black. Or I see purple and you want me to call it white. You're asking me to switch gears, and that to me is just, you're asking me to come into something that doesn't make sense. It's not normal and it's not logical. That's the same way when I watch Old Boy and he be line up a storm, and now everybody is normalizing that. I'm like, but it's because we become desensitized to the crazy. And there's a lot of crazy going on right now. I mean, across the board, on all different levels. Correct, Wendy. And I'm not trying to be mean. You can be whatever you want to be. And maybe among your family and friends who want to accept that. But when you go into the public space, and there are some that have transitioned, and I can say she. And granted, that might not be biologically what you are. But if you look like it, then it makes more sense. But when I'm looking at you and you haven't transitioned, but all of a sudden you got a beard and you're wearing a dress and you want me to call you a girl, I'm not understanding. That's hard. And I have friends I have a couple friends I know who are trans. And we've had to have that Jesus. I said, this is what I know you as. Until I see you looking like something, I don't know what to tell you. You might want to come around me because I might be offensive to you. Because I'm going to accidentally say he. I'm going to say dude. But then I also say bruh to girls. So we be talking about like bruh. That might be offensive. Like, culinary, we here. Here. And like I say bruh, I say dude all the time. Like I'll be like bruh, dude. Those are like my little slang things. Yeah, that's where it's hard, Wendy. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I agree with the choices, but I'm a big firm believer in you got the right to. I'm even a firm believer you got the right to go kill people. Granted, I'm not saying you should. I don't agree with it. I'm just saying, so I want y'all to follow my bouncing ball. You got the right to go out your door and start shooting folks if you want to. That's your free will. But there is going to be a repercussion for them actions. Do I agree with it? Hell no. But you got the right to. You got the right to be crazy. You got the right to run butt naked. You got the right to be a crackhead. You got the right to do any of the craziness. You got the right to be fat. You got the right to. Yeah, I don't know about that, but hey, it's just all of it's strange to me. And so, like right now, like I said, when I'm watching Old Boy, and it's not just this thing with this, although this was actually comical to me, the whole black journalists of convention they had him come to. But then I look at it, and a lot of stuff he does is crazy comical, because I'm like, wow, bruh, this ninja right here. And I just start laughing. I like that. I would go, oh, we Jesus. Because just out in the field. Bruh is out there. But we've now, and it's funny because I heard that when I heard it on TV, this guy said, he said, we become desensitized. And I was like, whoa, he is absolutely right. Because they normalize, they're strategizing on to strategize against crazy. I'm like, when did we strategize for crazy? You want to debate? Nah, bro, you crazy. I ain't gonna debate you. You just tell your people what you want to tell them. I'm gonna tell my people and let them come to let them come to their own conclusion. What can you debate him on, bro? It's crazy. He gonna come all out of left field, tell some crazy behind story. He ain't never gonna stay on topic. He's weird, and when he talks, he sounds remedial. I'm sorry, I just can't. He just can't. I'm just like, ugh. I can only listen to him for so long because it's like I can't. Facts, Wendy. I think that's probably what it is. Is that if we can't be, but I don't think it's a beat thing. I think it's just a point of saying, okay, you have some mental health challenges, and we're just gonna let you go your way. I've had that even dealing with people in business. You got people and you deal with them in business, and you like, okay, you got some challenges. Something's not right, and there's a way you deal with them. I learned to shut it down. Like I had one I was helping in a business sense, and I could tell there were mental issues. And then there were some documents on there and some things that another business that had dealt with this individual said. And I was like, okay, I spotted that. Because then the conversation started going kind of weird. I was like, oh, okay, let me give you this information. Bye-bye now. I'm not going to engage because you're engaging with insanity. And it's going to be an insane, weird conversation. There's conversations, even... And I'm going to say this, even with some friends of mine, some things and some thought processes they have, as soon as it goes there, I'm like, oh, girl, I got to go. Or I'll start talking about something else. Because I realize they're not in all the balls aren't in the park on certain things. Sweet people, nice-hearted on a lot of levels, but crazy on others. I got some associates of mine, cool. You get in a conversation, everything will be great. And then you get in one part of the conversation, you be like, the birds start chirping, and you're like, okay, anybody home? Because what they said didn't make no sense. The cray-cray comes out on the left field, and you be like, something ain't right. Something ain't right. I'm trying to think what else I had on here. What she said, I can't, I'm just saying, and culinary, you just said my favorite, because I be doing that. I'm like, I just cannot. I cannot. I've gotten to a point, even with friends of mine, I got to a point, they start telling me stuff. Like, I got one friend, I can't hear nothing about his family. I don't want nothing. Zero. I don't want to hear nothing about your family. I don't, because I can't get on the same page. Oh, Chipotle. Let me tell you about these folks. So, thank you, Wendy. Chipotle, I went to one back when I was working at another company. And I get it sometimes going to work because it's quick. And I loved Chipotle when it first came out. It's just genius. You get a bowl with the rice, the beans. It's like a little Mexican bowl, right? Or burrito or whatever you want. I usually get the bowl. And I get some chips. I go in there today. He do this light dollop of rice. I'm like, dude, this rice. I said, I need some more rice. Put some more rice in there. If it was up to them, I would have had a bowl with about maybe this stuff on it. I made them to where I'm going to pound it on, right? The meat, he took, I'm like, what in the world? They gave me a decent amount of beans. I said half beans, half black, half pinto on each side, right? But it was like they just trying to barely give you, I'm like, what in the Sam? And I saw a lot of comments on Yelp. I'm going to be doing a Yelp review on them. I did get mine piled up pretty decent, but I'm just like, bruh, Chipotle, but I think if I remember correctly, they got bought out by McDonald's. I don't know if they're still under McDonald's ownership, but I know they got bought out initially by McDonald's. I don't know if McDonald's still owns them or they went somewhere up there under somebody else. And another one who's not owned, I don't know if y'all have Payway, which used to be PF Chains. They were owned by PF Chains. They're no longer owned by PF Chains. They're owned differently. And you could tell that because I went to one of them and they not long. Oh, I didn't know they were cutting back. Yeah, it's the service is crap, and like I said, like even the grocery stores. Like I went to Kroger. I won't go to Kroger anymore. Actually, I got to write a corporate complaint. I've got 2 complaints on them right now. I had the one with the man screaming and talking me crazy at the one. I got his name, and then and I already wrote a complaint on the Yelp site, but I still need to write the corporate offices. And the one that's north of me, I hate going to that one. I call it the ghetto one. Because and God bless them, I understand we have a homeless problem, and God knows I've almost been on that line myself. But some of the homeless problem, a lot of it's drug related, and unfortunately some of it's mental health related. And I get that there are some people that are just caught up in between. Some of it is maybe people are in bad homes, and kids are, because I'm seeing some young people out there too. I had one, he has to clean my windows the other day, and he said I'm 15 or 16 and my family's struggling, and he had a water bottle. The problem is I don't know if he's doing drugs. So me personally, I donate to a ministry that deals with homeless, drug users, and people getting out of prison. And to me, that's my way. Let them kind of at least be able to scope out and see who they're helping, who really needs help and is trying to come out of the predicament that they're in. But some of those babies, I'm like, whoo. She was having a conversation, I don't know what her demons or whatever the other day, whatever her personality is, where she was talking to 2 or 3 people by herself. And then the ones, sometimes you get they dancing because they so high. They whacked out of their mind and they doing some weird dancing, and you could tell how they dancing, that they're totally whacked out. But when I went to this Kroger up here, my issue wasn't I don't like going to it because of that, because you get hit up by the homeless really bad as soon as you step out your car, going into the store. Then you got them in the store stealing stuff too. That's another thing. And the stores are trying to alleviate the theft. They've put up gates, they put up all this stuff, and you know that it's there because they're trying to alleviate the theft because of the homeless people coming in stealing stuff in order to make money, get drug money, whatever. It's like I'll be at the laundromat and you can tell the homeless folks come in and like, hey, I got an XYZ gallon thing of Tide. You want it? $10, $5. It's a hell of a deal, but you know they stole it out of the store. And you know that's part of this whole thing. But I happened to be in there, and the lady didn't know how to ring up. I had a gift card, electronic gift card. She didn't know how to do it. Now I can do it on the self-checkout, but she was having problems. So a little manager chick run by. She does something, and I said, oh, and it looks like it was going to work. So she walks away. Well, then it didn't work. So the lady's calling and calling. And I'm like, and so this woman didn't come back for like 30, 40 minutes. But when she comes back, this is the manager. She's standing in the line, so like this side of me, with her back to me, talking to the black lady with the jug of liquor. And I'm just dismissed. And handing the woman her card like, I guess, an override. Then I said, hello? I've been waiting here for 15, 30 minutes for you to come fix this. And you just did. It was horrible. I think her name was Christy or Christine. I got her name. She's supposed to be the manager. I'll be writing on her too. Just horrible. And the customer service is just ratchet. But again, it's this new group of humans. And they don't care. They don't care. They don't care if customer service is out the window. They could give a good doggone. They don't care. Like the job I have right now, one of the things that bothers me, we're supposed to do it really fast. So your interaction sometimes, it almost feels like you got to shut people down, which you do. You got to be very matter of fact, which sometimes is very rude. I don't like it. But because of the speed they ask, other people around you who really don't care, they're just there for the paycheck, they do a half-butt job. Well, then if you get it, they say, oh, we got to do the holistic approach. You got to fix whatever. Bruh, the person before me had this wretched claim, didn't do it right. You need to go back to the original person and deal with them. But if I touch it after them, then if I don't do what they should have done, it's my fault. And I'm like craziness. It is. It's a massive entitled behavior, and I don't know, I can't speak to other countries, but it does feel worldwide, but definitely here in the US. There is a level of entitlement of I can do what the hell I want to do, which almost goes to this whole narcissistic crazy thing. And I just see it all spiritually tied together, very much so. Um it is very much so demonic in my opinion if you understood Satan's characteristics. It's very demonic. And I just see it tied to these people and people that it's all about them. It's about me. I don't care about nothing else. And that the other thing that's getting me is people who are unaware of the things going on. Like all I know is what's in my household. I don't know anything outside the door, or all I know what's in my state, or all I know is what's in the US. I don't care about anything going on outside. And I'm like, y'all better be watching. We got Russia and China doing some weird stuff. I don't know if y'all know. We've had to tell their planes to get off the border of us up in Alaska area. They had to have they had together. They together. Russian. No, sweetheart. We need to have red flags on the plane. Red flags on the plane. I don't trust nothing. But the problem is we got a lot of folks just sleeping on it. I got, like I said, good friends. One of my friends, he came some money, and so he's, he's trying to travel, and he don't watch the news, and he don't know much. He may know a little bit about politics. He don't know too much. He don't want to know. I don't want to know. Okay. When all hell break loose, that car ain't gonna mean nothing. That money ain't gonna mean nothing, because they come up in here bombing America. This is gonna be a whole nother situation. I'm praying that doesn't happen, but there's some things going on right now that have me concerned. And to me, the world should be concerned. But we're so entitled. We're worried about how we look. We're worried about what we drive. We're worried about going out and hanging with friends. We're worried about selfies. Child, bye. You better start praying for this country and praying, Lord, because there's some weird stuff going on. Weird, extra weird. And entitled is a lot of it, because we have this entitled behavior, and I'm like, it's craziness, but it is very much the culture of our day. Girl, culinary, hold on, let's talk about it. So I don't know if y'all know, Smithfield was an American-owned pork company or meat company, but I think their biggest thing is pork. Okay. During COVID, there's a Chinese company that bought. I won't jack with Smithfield. I don't know what's true or what's false, but if I remember correctly, right around that time of COVID, they were also having the swine flu in China, and they were talking about importing some of the pork over here. I'm good, Smithfield. You can have that. I'm good. I'm not a huge pork person anyway, but I'm good. Bro, you keep that. So I don't do Smithfield. I'll do JBS Swift Beat because I know where that's from, but Smithfield and me, we good. When they went China owned, I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. You can keep that. But we sold off our country. We sold off this country to these corporations a long time ago. One of the issues I had, because here in Arizona, we had a lot of semiconductor companies, Motorola, Intel, some other ones that were here in Arizona. And then they outsourced this stuff overseas. This is something I did have a problem with Biden on. He paid a whole bunch of money to bring these greedy buttholes back to the U.S. after COVID, because we needed chips and stuff that we couldn't get here that were overseas, because they're using the slave labor and slave wages overseas, but we didn't have it here in our country. I had a problem. I had a problem that he gave these companies that money in order for them. I'm like, these greedy bastards are making, they laid off folks from these companies, shut down a lot of these companies, took the business overseas, paying slave wages. Now we got to wait during COVID to get anything back. These folks is rich as hell. No, I just had a problem that our government. I'm like, you know what? You just need to create government group that does chips, and just create a government group, a group with some good benefits, and employ American people. Because don't give them buttholes no money. They took them jobs over there and away. Why are you giving? You're almost like begging them to come back. I had problems with that. Was one thing I did have problems with. I've been around long enough to remember that because I knew people that worked for Motorola and people that worked for Intel. I'm gonna tell you, jobs got outsourced and ended. I don't know. Next. I cannot. I can't. But our country is not owned by a lot of American land. Ain't owned by us that much anymore. Little bits of it, but facts, Wendy, facts. And even the American, even the cars that used to be American manufacturers, a lot of those parts come from overseas, and we're relying on them. I said I'm working in insurance now, so I know just even repairs. People are like, well, you know, they said the parts won't be here for 3 and 4 weeks, right? Because they come from somewhere the hell overseas, and you waiting for them to get over here. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, but the food thing, the pork, I'm good. Smithfield and all them other ones, y'all can keep that. And that's why I haven't got out there and done my garden. I did build a garden bed. I haven't put it up yet. It's out there. I'll set it up and get out there. But it's been so, child, it's been so. Fluffy grandma, get out. It's been hot as hell. Okay, y'all can see that. I'm not shocked. And I love Toyota. Now, I ain't gonna lie. Toyota make a mean product. I have a Kia right now because that was affordable. And my little Kia is cool. But, yeah. Toyota does make a dang good car. They one of them Timex watch. They like the old Timex watch. Takes a licking and keeps on ticking. Them dang cars will run forever. Oil change, tune up. Them cars will run forever. Ever. Anyway, y'all, it is 60 minutes. Y'all can go back and play the beginning part. Put some comments down below if y'all see this later. Wendy and Culinary Grid, it's been a pleasure. I haven't talked to y'all in a long time. I'm going to take a nap, but I got some other stuff I got to work on. So I'm going to work on that. But Chipotle, y'all wrong. Because I'm sitting there, add more. And then the bill was like $20. I got some chips, a little thing of guacamole, and a bowl. And all together it was about $18. And I was like, okay, I threw a drink in because at the end I was like, okay, I had enough to get a drink. About $18. Anyway, they're horrible. Absolutely horrible. Yeah, so Chipotle, I didn't know that they were having problems, but I can see that because and like I said, most of these folks today, the kids, they don't want to work. That's the sad part. They don't want to work, and even our age, some of them don't want to work either. But the 40 and under crew, they don't want to work, and they don't care. They don't care. A lot of them are living at home, so they don't care. Anyway, y'all, 2 and 2, be blessed. Peace. Next week.